I found out that he was still messing with his baby mama. And I'm almost certain sleeping with me and sleeping with her at the same time. So you was his side chick. And I said, what? Welcome back to another video, you guys. I'm super excited that you're here. And if you're new, I am Christina Yvette. And this is my channel where you're gonna learn all things about moi. So if you like the type of content that I'm about to drop, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. I got a story time for you guys. In this story, I'm gonna tell you, sis, do not settle as a side chick. Why? Because I was in a relationship for less than 4 months. It had to be about 100 days. And this man literally was trying to turn me into a side chick. And knowing me, I'm not about to settle to be nobody's side chick. Like, look at this. I am a full course meal, an appetizer, the dessert, soup, salad, all of it, okay? I am definitely not no side piece. But the dude that I was dating, he literally tried to put me in that situation. And I'm gonna break it down to you. But what I want to tell you, sis, is please do not settle to be no man's side chick. You are definitely better than that, sis. You are a wife. You are somebody's main girlfriend. You are worthy of being in a committed relationship where you do not have to share your man with another woman. There is plenty of men out here. Like they say, there's plenty of fish in the sea. So there's plenty of men out here, sis. You do not have to share your man with another woman. So that's what I mean by do not settle. Now, let me get to this story. I was dating this dude. We was dating for about 100 days. And he tried to make me a side chick. Why? Because I found out that he was still messing with his baby mama, which is fine and dandy. That is okay. If you still want to be with your baby mama, go be with your baby mama. You guys have history together. You guys have a child together. You guys probably used to share your lifestyle together. If you want to be with your baby mama, go be with her. But don't try to drag me in this situation and don't lie about the situation. So that is what this man was trying to put me in. He was literally dealing with me and dealing with her at the same time. And I'm almost certain sleeping with me and sleeping with her at the same time. So let me tell you how I found out. And then let's go into some strategies of how you are not gonna settle to be no man's side chick. With that being said, this is how I found out. A woman's intuition is on point, always. You have to follow your gut, sis. And that is exactly what I do. My intuition has led me to pretty much saving my own life. It actually led me to discovering whatever was going on in this little relationship of 100 days. We were on vacation and we were actually staying in this beautiful villa. And it was 2 stories. I had grabbed my laptop. I was on the first floor. And I grabbed my laptop so that I can go up to the 2nd floor to go hang out with my man. When I was heading upstairs, I'm barefoot. I'm on an island. So I'm tiptoeing, right? So when I was heading upstairs, I overhear a conversation. And in the conversation, he's saying, I miss you. I can't wait to see you. You need to fly down here so that we could spend some time. Come down to my house over here in another state. And so I'm like, interesting. Like, what is this all about? And so I was actually very hurt because a week before the vacation, I was already getting red flags. Dun, da, da, da. And I already knew that something was going on because of, one, the change in the behavior. That's always a red flag, sis, okay? You could always know that you about to be in this situation where you're sharing your man with another woman if the behavior changes or the routine changes. So his entire routine with me, his girlfriend, changed. Why? Because we went from saying good mornings, good morning calls, texts, all that stuff, good night calls, texts, all that stuff, to, oh, I'm gonna go see my children and, you know, I'll call you back. It's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So at what point are you gonna go home? So it was literally like midnight and I'm like, no call, no text. Okay, red flag. So the next day, it happens again. And I'm like, okay, it happened yesterday. Today's going to be different. So midnight, guess what I do? Pick up the phone, ring, ring, trying to get in contact with my man, go straight to voicemail. Okay, right? I'm registering all of this because you know how us Capricorns be. We process everything. We start calculating in our head, and then we'll come up with some kind of deductive reasoning later. So that's exactly what I was going to do. 15 minutes later, I get a call from my man, and he is pissed off on his way home, talking about he fell asleep. I'm like, okay, no problem. Well, I'm actually going to bed, and I wanted to call you to say goodnight. So that was it. So I registered in my mind, this man already fell asleep, you guys. Okay, y'all listening? He already fell asleep. So if I didn't call him at midnight to wake him up, he would have spent the whole night there, okay? All right, there we go. So now, guess what? The next day, the same thing happens again. So now it becomes a pattern, and this is a brand new pattern that's outside of his routine. Because mind you, we was dating for probably 90 of the 100 days. So we was dating for 90 days already, and this is out of the ordinary. I'm telling you, the red flags were there, which is totally cool. Fast forward. So I'm already on heightened awareness. Like he's spending nights out, most likely at the baby mama's crib. So now fast forward to us being on this beautiful island, gorgeous villa, all of the things. Behavior, different, very distant, very non-affectionate, all this stuff. Red flags again. Fast forward to 5 days into the vacation is when I overheard the conversation with the BM. So I'm like, okay, I'm not about to be nobody's side chick. So you are not about to make me no side chick. If you want to be with your baby mama, then go be with your baby mama. You guys have history. You guys have a child together. You guys probably used to live together. Go be with your baby mama. But what you're not gonna do is drag me into this third party situationship. Do not settle to be no man's side chick. That is not what we're doing in 2024. We have main character energy. We are the main chick in a man's life. Well, if a man has a previous situation where he's sharing a child, what does that co-parenting look like? Do you guys have boundaries in that relationship? Because at the end of the day, when you have a child with somebody, you're gonna, one, be in that person's life forever, or at least until that child is 18 to probably mid-20s when they get out of college. So that means that unfortunately you're forced to communicate with that other adult. So what does the co-parenting look like? What does visitation look like? How are you spending time with the kids? How are they spending time with the kids? That's one. Two, what are the boundaries? What boundaries are you putting in place? Are you going over that person's house? Are you spending nights over there because you have a child over there? Or are you putting boundaries in place to where you're letting it be known, hey, I'm in a committed relationship, so I'm not going to enter. Or, hey, I'm in a committed relationship, so I'm only going to be here during respectable hours while my child is awake. And then once my child goes to sleep, I'll go home. Or I'm in a committed relationship, so let's meet at the park. Let me bring my child to my house so that I don't have to be put in a compromised situation where I'm at my baby mama's house and then you never know. You know, sometimes women, we in trapping season. So we try to trap. If we want our baby daddy back, then, you know, once they come to visit the kids, we might jump on them. You never know. You never know. So that's why you need to have proper boundaries. That's why your man needs to have proper boundaries in place. If that man loves you, he is going to have boundaries. The co-parenting, what does that look like? So who is dropping the kids off to school? Who's picking them up? What about basketball practice? What about, you know, meals and stuff like that? What does that look like? So all of that stuff needs to be already set up before you even go into that man's life. But once you're in that man's life, you need to be checking for this stuff. It's important, because if you let it just go with the flow situation like how most men like to do, then you'll probably end up in the situation that I was, where your man tries to make you a side chick. You don't want to be in that situation. Trust and believe. It leads to a lot of emotional disturbances, and you don't want that, sis, okay? So boundaries is a must, and if he doesn't have boundaries, that's a red flag. And so you need to probably back up and wait until he establishes those proper boundaries before you can either re-enter his life or move forward in that relationship. Now, back to my story. So I overheard all of this stuff between him and his baby mama. And I said, okay, cool. Let me remove myself from this situation. A couple days later, I end up ending the relationship. And I told him exactly why. I said, I overheard your conversation with your baby mama. I already felt that you was sleeping with her, or at least spending nights at her house. Because of that, I'm ending the relationship. And that's exactly what I did. And guess what his response was, sis? He's like, no, no, it's not true. No, you didn't hear what you heard. No, I'm not letting you leave me or whatever. Like, I want to be with you, all this stuff. And I'm like, absolutely not. Like, you obviously have something going on with your baby mama and probably multiple other women, which I know for a fact there was multiple other women. But unfortunately, I can't prove it. Why? Because when I bring it up, he denies it. So that's completely fine, okay? If you're in denial, you stay over there in denial, because my intuition is on point. My intuition alerted me a week before I found out. And you know how good God is. God is going to give you the tea without you even looking for the tea. All right? You don't have to go through no man's phone, because you're just going to walk into the situation and overhear the conversation. Okay? So that's exactly what happened with me, which is fine, because I needed the confirmation, right? I needed to know, like, hey, I'm being played, which is fine. Like, if you want to play me, that's okay, because guess what? There's more fish in the sea. Men are a dime a dozen, sis. So do not be chasing after one man, especially if y'all new to this, right? Especially if y'all only 90 to 100 days in. Do not be chasing no man, sis. You do not have to do that. Why? Because that man is probably a womanizer. That man is probably a cheater. That man is going to cheat again. So you do not want to be chasing someone who has those type of characteristics. What you want to do is you want to wait for your Boaz. You want to wait for your husband to come, for the man that God has chosen to be your husband. Okay, so do not settle, sis. I'm telling you, this whole video is for you. And it's to tell you not to settle to be no man's side chick, okay? That's exactly the position that he wanted me to be in. He wanted me to settle to be a side chick. Now, mind you, I didn't think I was a side chick. I did not think I was a side chick, I promise. I'm going to tell you how I came to that conclusion. But before, let me tell you what the dynamic of the relationship was. So remember in my previous video, he love bombed me. And if you haven't watched that video, please go watch that video, because that man love bombed me, okay? So it's going to be in the description box below, the link to the love bombing video. You need to watch that video so that you can have a context of the type of man that I'm talking about right now. With this man, love bombing and everything right there, we got into a relationship quick, fast, and in a hurry. In 1 week, literally 8 days after I met him. I met him on a Friday. By the next Saturday, we was already quote unquote girlfriend and boyfriend, okay? So we was already in a relationship within 8 days. Did I get to know him? No. Did he get to know? No, he wasn't even trying to get to know me, okay? To be honest with you, he was just trying to rush and get that you know what, okay? So that's fine. That's completely fine, right? You end up getting the you know what. But besides that, we got into a relationship. We were in a committed relationship, okay? This was my significant other. This is the person that I call my boyfriend. I am in his significant other. I am the woman that he calls his girlfriend. To the point that the next day, he took me to his mama's house. Do you hear me? He took me to his mama's house. Why? Because it was time to meet the family. So, took me to his mama's house, introduced me as his girlfriend, sister, in-laws, all this stuff, all of the things. The next week we go to an event telling everybody we're together. That's my girlfriend. All this stuff. So it was known. Everybody knew that we were in a relationship. And it was supposed to be a committed relationship. But I guess I was the only person that didn't know that we was in a committed relationship, because he was flirting with other people right in front of my face and had a whole baby mama that he was probably, getting stuff from. Anyways, we was in a committed relationship and I end up ending the relationship. But all that time, I thought I was the main chick. I thought like, okay, yes, I'm his girlfriend, all this stuff. But that was an illusion, unfortunately. And that is what he wanted me to believe, which is fine. Because remember, you guys, if you watch that video, I'm describing a narcissist. With that being said, it was an illusion. He wanted me to think we were in a relationship. And did I think that? Yes. So did he accomplish his goals? Yes. Was it a part of the love bombing? Yes. Putting a title on it, rushing? Yes. So now I didn't know it was the side chick until after I heard the whole conversation between him and the baby mama. And 3 days later, I break up with him. Then I go to therapy, you guys. So I've been in therapy for a minute. And if you haven't watched that video on me describing my whole first therapy session and how important therapy is, it's going to be down in the description box below, because you need to watch that video, you guys. Therapy is so important, especially for us brown girls. When I went to my therapist the week after, I was in distraught. I was really going at it. Like I was in pieces. Why? Because in my mind, I thought this was a perfect relationship. It was nothing but green flags and that we was falling in love and all this stuff. But reality came crashing in, which is totally fine. That's life. Life be lifing. So when I went to my therapist is like, okay, so what happened? How did this transpire? How did you find out that he was playing you with the baby mom and all this stuff? So I told her the story about how we was in the villa and how I overheard everything and how he denied everything, all of the things. My therapist looks me in the eye and she's like, oh, so you was his side chick. And I said, what? I was his side chick? How was I the side chick? I'm like, his baby mama is the side chick. I'm the girlfriend. His baby mama is the side chick. Nah, you tripping. And I'm like, whatever little girl that he's hanging out with in Atlanta, she's the side chick. Those girls are the side chick. My therapist looked me in the eye. She said, say it. I said, say what? She's like, say it. I'm the side chick. I was like, no, I'm not going to say it. I wasn't the side chick. Like, we were in a relationship. She's like, who was there first? I said, she was there first. Exactly. She's always been there. She ain't going nowhere. She's got his child. You was the side chick. I said, oh, okay. Well, if you put it that way, I guess you're right. So I was in this fake little relationship. I thought I was this man's main girlfriend. And I come to this rude awakening that the baby mama has always been there. And the baby mama will always be there. And no knocks to baby mamas, because guess what, guys? I'm a baby mama. I have 2 baby daddies. I have 3 kids. But I have boundaries with my baby daddies. They don't even come inside my home. Their children meet them outside, because my home is my sanctuary, and I'm not going to allow my ex to come inside my house for no reason at all. So with that being said, I love baby mamas. I'm one of them, but a baby mama with a boundary. So unfortunately, when I was sitting on my therapist's couch, she let me know that I was a side chick, because the baby mama has always been there. She's been there for years. She gets child support, all her bills paid. She's got his baby. So she ain't going nowhere. She got full access. And what do I have? Nothing. I just got here. We less than 100 days in. Didn't even know I was a side chick, you guys. But I decided not to settle. And I'm telling you, as soon as I found out, within 3 days, the relationship was over. and it's been over. And now I'm healing. I'm going and seeing my therapist consistently. And now I know that in my next relationship, I'm going to look for these red flags or green flags. The red flag is if you have a co-parenting situation with no boundaries, or the green flag is if you have a co-parenting situation with boundaries. That is my story time for today. I love you so much. And for my ladies out there, if you guys are wanting to join a community with a like-minded boss women that are running their businesses online, you need to look up the School of Bosses, because me and Rocky G has just launched the School of Bosses. So go to theschoolofbosses.com so that you can get into the community, you guys. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I will see you guys in the next video. Love ya.